Kentucky with this line of storms that continues to race in at 70 miles an hour now. These things are driving at interstate speeds, coming right at us tonight as they move through southeastern Indiana, and they're bringing a whole lot of wind with them. I want to give you an updated storm track of this line of storms as it moves across our area. This is a look at that storm as it moves toward downtown Cincinnati, just to give you an idea of when to get ready for these things. Carrollton, Kentucky around 12:10, Vevey 12:14, Guilford 12:18, Harrison around 12:23, 12:27 in Miamitown, around 12:30 at the International Airport, 12:37 again in downtown Cincinnati. Westchester finally showing up there on the arrival times at 12:41. Right now, winds to 70 miles per hour being warned with this line of storms by the National Weather Service, and that's why you see these hash marks showing up. The typical severe thunderstorm warning, it's going to be the solid polygon, the orange polygon, but when we start to see these hash marks showing up across the screen, that's an indication that it's ramped up another level. And back to our west earlier tonight, we had some winds possibly up to 80 miles an hour on some of these storms as they've moved in. So this is something we're going to watch. I want to give you the big view, kind of reset things and show you what's going on as far as where the warnings are currently located. So that is a look. We have a tornado watch for most parts of the tri-state. It looks like they have gone ahead and added Mason, Robertson, and Adams County now, it looks like, to that tornado watch that goes until 4 o'clock in the morning. Where you see the orange polygons, those are severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect. Tornado warnings, again, they're lit up in red north of Cincinnati, south of Cincinnati, outside of our viewing area. Those, thankfully, to this point, have been Doppler radar indicated tornadoes. There has not been any radar confirmations from any of those tornado warnings so far tonight. Still checking on that storm up there in Preble County. Officially, they still have the tornado warning up for that. They've still allowed it to go here for a little while longer, but I think they're going to allow that to expire in about 3 minutes. And it looks like the threat up there of a tornado has at least ended for now. But we need to keep an eye on this line coming in from the west with winds up to 70 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm warning again continues for a good chunk of our area here across portions of northern Kentucky, southeast Indiana. And it looks like, yep, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning just now issued up here to the north. And it is a considerable one. Again, they've extended it into Butler County, now into Hamilton County, and into Warren County. We're going to get this latest warning right here. I want to make sure that I have all the data from this. Yeah, there it is. They canceled the tornado warning, and they have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning here that has just been issued. It looks like it goes over into Warren County as well. So I'm going to get this off and give you an idea of the scope of that. Yep, there it is. So Hamilton County, the rest of Dearborn County, Warren County too, now under a severe thunderstorm warning that extends down over Hamilton County. Basically, much of the metro area now, Paul, under the threat for winds that could be upwards of 70 miles per hour with these storms as they move across the area tonight. It's a little different than our typical severe thunderstorm warning.
You're dealing with not only jet stream winds that are racing along above the surface tonight, but you're dealing with winds that thunderstorms are generating, the forward momentum of the thunderstorms also.
They're moving at 70.
So they're moving at 70 miles an hour too, in addition to producing wind gusts of up to 70 miles an hour. And I was going to dial up one of our cameras here just to see what the view would be like maybe up in Butler County. Take a quick look at the radar, and this looks like it's frozen right now, but it's just in mid-scan here. And you can see the line of heavier rain and the lightning a little more intense from west of Brookville down towards Sunman and toward Vevey. Our eyes are on Vevey because this eventually could be a place that comes under a tornado warning. Let me just look real quick here and see if, well, that's a view looking out to the west right now from the Thomas More College. We'll take you up to a different view here and see what we can see right now. If we're looking around from our tower cam, this is in the area by the Nippert camera, and we'll take you up to Oxford and see what we're looking at this time. A blurry view from there. Paige Barnes, who is one of our reporters here at Local 12, says that they're in pretty good shape right now. We've got crews all over the place, as you just saw a few moments ago from Lawrenceburg, taking a look at the rain that's coming down there. So to reset, the tornado watch now covers the entire area. We have no tornado warning at this time now, but we are keeping an eye down to the southwest for the rotation. Well, you can see in some of these places where we technically just have severe thunderstorm warnings out right now, that there is indication of rotation. And then just to the southwest of Vevey in Worthville there, in the Bedford, Indiana area, Campbellsburg there, and just about to cross into Carrollton. We'll see if that tornado warning gets extended off to the northeast. They're already under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's what you see, the little moving lines there, and that's for considerable damage potential. There has been a tornado warning. We still see rotation. So if you're watching us around Vevey or Warsaw or Carson, East Enterprise even, maybe be ready for that. But otherwise, John, we're dealing at this time with severe thunderstorm warnings. But in all of these cases, too, it's certainly possible they could still spin up a tornado.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch that just for the atmospheric setup tonight alone. There's a lot more wind shear tonight than what we even had on Sunday. Because of that, we're seeing the winds within these storms even stronger in this case. And these are not normal severe thunderstorm warnings. They're like a notch higher than our typical ones tonight. So this is a look at some arrival times from this line of storms. Again, anywhere in these towns listed, you have the potential of a wind gust to 70 miles per hour. East Enterprise here around 12:15, Harrison 12:21, Miamitown around 12:25, the International Airport 12:29, downtown Cincinnati 12:36, Monroe now at 12:41, Loveland showing up at 12:46, and Lebanon around 12:49 for the time of arrival of this line of storms coming out of southeastern Indiana, moving at 70 miles per hour tonight. So it is a serious line of storms that we're seeing tonight. Now getting into the Vevey area, getting into the Carrollton area, where they've had, again, a tornado warning just to your southwest here. And Paul was looking at that. I want to take a look at this a little bit more and get an idea. And there's been a little bit of rotation down there. Certainly we're going to have to watch that as it gets up into the Carrollton area tonight. But boy, oh boy, looks like we've got some more coming in right now. Yeah, oh boy, okay. New severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, they've upped it. They've upped the, okay. They're saying 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts now with this one, okay? So that is highly concerning, highly concerning. All right, so what they've basically done here is the same warning that is in effect for Ohio County, Dearborn County, Switzerland County, all in southeast Indiana, Carroll County in northern Kentucky, central Kenton County, Boone County, Gallatin County, western Hamilton County. Okay, they are warning on winds to 80 miles per hour now with this storm. 80-mile-an-hour winds possible with this storm. So here it is. Let's give you another track on this thing as we look at, again, winds to 80 miles per hour possible as it comes across this area here. So we get another storm track on this. St. Leon around 12:18, Rising Sun 12:24, Harrison 12:25, Miamitown around 12:31, the International Airport at 12:33, Verona 12:34, downtown Cincinnati 12:40, and 12:44 in Westchester. Winds to 80 miles per hour, a possibility with this storm as it moves through these locations. As we look at velocity here, let's see if I can get some of these winds queried up on the velocity. And again, a lot of these winds are going to be aloft. But yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's over 100 miles an hour. Again, that's not at the surface, folks. As this radar beam comes out, it gets higher in the atmosphere. But certainly, some of that could mix down to the surface, so they're warning on winds to 80. So, you know, maybe take off 20, 23 miles an hour from what we're seeing on radar. But, I mean, that's highly concerning to see these kind of winds tonight showing up on radar, even though, again, we think those are aloft. They're not going to be necessarily at the surface, but they're warning on winds up to 80 miles an hour at the surface here as these storms work across southeastern Indiana. That is destructive wind, extremely dangerous. When you keep in mind, an EF0 tornado has winds of 65 to 85 miles an hour. So the tag on this, folks, is destructive. 80-mile-an-hour winds. The severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 1 o'clock in the morning. Covers about 143,000 folks tonight. So treat this like a tornado warning. Okay, I want you to treat this like a tornado warning because, again, it's equivalent if you get 80-mile-an-hour winds to an EF0 tornado. So go to the lowest level of your home, get in the center portion of your home. If you have a basement, go there to ride this out. 80-mile-an-hour winds are serious. And again, 65 to 85 mile an hour is an EF0 tornado. So these type of winds equivalent to an EF0 tornado impacting about 143,000 folks there with this brand new warning that just came out. And let me again, I want to get this so you can see the areas that we're concerned about. Again, when you see these hash marks, that's not a normal severe thunderstorm warning. That is an enhanced severe thunderstorm warning, a higher criteria it takes to get this kind of warning. So coming into western Hamilton County, back into Boone County, parts of Kenton County, off to the south and east through Switzerland County, Ohio County. Again, we're dealing, even in Gallatin County, we're dealing with serious winds, perhaps upwards of 80 miles per hour with this storm moving through right now. So those are some incredible winds out of this line of severe thunderstorms, and the strongest part of it here across the south. Now, one thing we need to watch with this, and I want to take a look at this right now. I'm coming back to this. One thing we really need to watch is for any areas of rotation. And again, as we look at these, this is current. We've got a little bit trying to come into the Harrison area. It's kind of broad, a little bit coming out of Franklin County toward Riley Township there in Butler County, where you see that purple. We got to keep an eye on that. And again, coming up through Carroll County into Gallatin County, and the southern end of this line, we're getting a little bit of rotation or shear there. So those are the spots that we need to keep an eye on for the possibility of a spin-up tornado here. Again, southern end of this line coming across Carroll County, going into Gallatin County. Going to keep a close eye on that because the Weather Service in Louisville has been issuing tornado warnings for the tail end of this line. So the tail end is kind of coming up over our southern area right now. But to the north, again here, winds to 80 miles an hour possible along portions of this line. And you can see coming into Liberty, Indiana, coming across Franklin County. It's coming at Oxford, and we got to keep an eye, Paul, on that Oxford camera because there may be some interesting stuff going on there. Okay. Emergency management in Franklin County is reporting they just got very strong winds there in Batesville.
Well, the good news is, John, speaking of emergency management, we covered the one tornado warning that we've had so far in our viewing area earlier, and that was up in Union County. And what we're hearing from the emergency management folks, we had the warning in Union County, but we also had thunderstorms moving through Wayne County tonight. There's no report of damage there, they're reporting. And so that is some good news. We have no reports of damage around here. There certainly will be reports of damage down to the southwest, where they still have a couple of tornado warnings in place. What we had seen earlier, though, were quite a few tornado warnings that are shaded in purple, at least on our system. And when it shows you that, that's a confirmed tornado. It's either been confirmed by an observer or it's been confirmed by the signature of debris from the radar. So maybe some good news there, but you'll notice just to our southwest, we're still keeping an eye on that tornado warning, which had been a part of rotation that has been in the Bedford area. And at this time, we're still picking it up around Bedford, as a matter of fact, too, and getting out in front of the warned area, which goes until 12:30. So what time is it now? 12:24. We don't have any indication yet that they're going to extend the tornado warning, but if I were watching in VV right now, or Worthville or Warsaw or New Liberty, you might be ready for that. And in any event, even minus a tornado warning tonight, these severe thunderstorms are packing winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour, and that's going to be something that could be a hazard for you too. And at this hour then, to give you the reset from what we've talked about before, the earlier storm out of Liberty now, and we're looking for rotation and see a little bit of it around Harrison. There's nothing too concerning there. You can see the warning covering that big area from roughly Cincinnati and the metro area back out to the west. Here's a reset on the radar, and look at that rain shield too. Even after you get through this little wavy line that's coming through right now from around Connorsville down to east of Versailles and down into VV. Look at all the rain back there to the west. And as a matter of fact, I think let me call up the rainfall amounts that we've had in the last couple of hours, at least the radar estimate. And this is certainly going to be a factor after the storms too. Reports of 1 to maybe as much as 3 inches of rain. You recall that we not only had a wind advisory earlier today, we not only had the severe storm risk, but John, we also had the flood watch, and that's the reason why, because this is the first of several different rain events that we're going to have through the weekend.
Paul, I'm looking at the radar, the winds coming across parts of southeastern Indiana now and getting ready to push over into northern Kentucky. So I want to show you this view of the winds. This is coming into rising sun now, coming across Switzerland County, coming across Gallatin County around Warsaw, moving toward rising sun, moving toward Hamilton there, and moving up toward Buffalo and Lawrenceburg here. And looking at these winds here, again, just getting a general sense of that's what we got. And this is coming off the terminal Doppler radar in Kenton County. So this is much closer to the ground. So that's why they've been warning on, again, winds upwards of 80 miles an hour, upwards of 70 miles an hour. At times we've seen some winds along this line going up to 80 plus miles an hour, but this terminal Doppler radar is giving just a fantastic view of some of the winds along this line tonight. And you can see it continues to update the southern part of this line coming through the Warsaw area, coming across Gallatin County and coming into southern Boone County toward Verona is perhaps the strongest portion of this line of storms right now. So we're really concerned along this whole line here where you see these winds here. And I want to give an idea of some arrival times, make sure that I have everything set up properly here to track this. And yeah, this is moving at around 70 miles an hour. So this is a look at the winds, getting ready to cross the Ohio River. It already has there in Gallatin County, but it's going to come across Boone, Kenton County, eventually Campbell County here. So some extremely strong winds coming into rising sun, 1227, Glencoe around 1231, Burlington right around 1234, International Airport 1236, Delhi Township 1239, Independence 1242, downtown Cincinnati 1243, and Fort Thomas around 1246. An estimate of the winds that we're picking up off the terminal Doppler radar in Kenton County. They use this for the International Airport to detect wind shear and dangers to airplanes. This is certainly one of them tonight that we're seeing coming across portions of southeast Indiana and northern Kentucky. Some intense winds. Normally, severe thunderstorm warnings are issued for winds around 60 miles an hour. That's probably 75% of the warnings that we get. This one, they are warning on winds between 70 and 80 miles an hour. Destructive, the tag on that tonight. Now, you'll notice the tag on the other one here. They do have the tag of tornado possible, and we're seeing that on a lot of these tonight. So the primary threat is going to be damaging wind gust, but we could get some spin-up tornadoes out of these things. So we need to keep an eye on that. Still to our southwest, down around Louisville, there are tornado warnings for these storms. And you can see them. There they are. Clark, Floyd County, Jefferson County, Henry County, Shelby County. Severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings down here. Those storms eventually will try to push up into our southern areas. And I want to get an idea of the forward motion of the southern edge of this line so I can give a track on this one. And I imagine, yeah, it's moving at 70. Yeah. Oh, boy. That is fast. Okay, so I want to give a track on the southern part of this line where tornado warnings were issued, because this is eventually going to move up into Carroll County. It's eventually going to move up into Owen County. So you can see LaGrange on the edge of our viewing area at 1237. We get to Carrollton at 1250, VV 1255, New Liberty 102, and 106 in Owenton. So that's a line of storms that the National Weather Service in Louisville has under their area of responsibility now that will eventually cross into our southern area, our southwestern counties around these times. So we need to keep an eye on that because there has been rotation down here with this line of storms too. And I can come back and look, and yeah, you can see some of this rotation that they're warning on back here around Jeffersontown. So that's what they're warning on. There's a little bit even extending up here to the north now. Getting toward Campbellsburg there. So that is something to keep an eye on. I mean, even as you get up into our area, there is some rotation with these around Rising Sun, Antioch, coming down into the Glencoe area now. And that's where we see that tremendous push of wind coming across these areas, getting ready to cross the Ohio River over into Boone County. So it's that wind, and right along that wind where that big push of air is coming out of these storms, you can get these tornadoes spinning up. So that's why radar is likely detecting the rotation that it's looking at. I want to come back here and pull up again the terminal Doppler. And there it is. Big winds now entering western Boone County and southern Boone County. Near Rising Sun, Hamilton, where you see some of these dark blues. See if we can get a pixel query on some of this. Yeah, there it is, Paul. 81-mile-an-hour winds.
Wow.
Now coming into southern Boone County. I got to get a track on this for you folks down there in southern Boone County. Got a lot of friends down there in southern Boone County. I'm worried about you tonight with these winds. Again, these are winds equivalent to an EF0 tornado. So I want you to, you know, even though it's just a severe thunderstorm warning, it's not a normal severe thunderstorm warning. So this is the possibility of winds going upwards. And I'm gonna track this out a half hour. It's moving at 70. So I'm gonna track it out a half hour. Eventually it gets into southern Claremont County. So Big Bone State Park down there around 1233, the International Airport 1238, Florence 1239, Independence 1243, Fort Thomas around 1248, 1251 Alexandria, New Richmond 1256, and 101 in Batavia. 101. Again, some big winds. Let's hope they weaken before they get that far to the east. But yeah, I put this in motion. There they are. And watch them coming across here. Big winds near Patriot, moving toward Beaver Lake, moving toward Verona, eventually moving toward Pioneer and Independence here tonight. So those are the areas that we are concerned with on the southern end of this line. That's where we're getting some big time winds shown there by radar tonight. Northern end of this line coming into Harrison now, coming into the Oxford area. You could see a whole lot of weather now moving into Oxford. I want to put a storm track on this too, because the northern end of this line has some wind, maybe not quite as much as the southern end, but let's track that out. At the International Airport, 1234, Fairfield 1238, downtown Cincinnati 1241, Monroe 1245, Miami around 1250, Lebanon and Loveland between 1252 and 1254, and Corwin just before 1 o'clock. Let's go to a live picture now from the International Airport in Boone County under a considerable severe thunderstorm warning right now. Photojournalist Adam Robbins there. I know exactly where he is. He's at that Shell station right there on 237. And it is coming down there right now. And that makes a lot of sense, yeah. So you can come in on the radar and show you exactly where Adam is. He's sitting right here. Go ahead and go back to that picture, guys. Go back to that picture, just to give you an idea of what it looks like in reality and what radar is showing tonight there. And it looks like some wind, definitely, but they're probably past the gust front, I would imagine. So let me double check that as we come into the radar. I want to get the proper one up here. Take a look at the terminal Doppler there, and yeah, they're past the gust front, it looks like, or right on it, basically. And those winds up here, don't look as strong. Yeah, we're not getting big winds up there now, which is interesting. That's not, I think the biggest threat is south of where this picture is, and that's where we're seeing some of the bigger winds moving through. Now they're picking up. Now they're picking up. Stay with it here. I think he's getting the gust front right now. Again, a live picture. This is off 237 in Boone County in the Hebron area at the Shell station right there off 237. Big time winds. And this is what we're going to see. This area in Boone County. Stay with us, guys. This is a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, that gust front's just now getting to it. Meteorologist Paul Poteet. Go ahead and bring his mic up. Stay with the picture, though, guys.
And speaking of those winds, we're getting several calls now via the National Weather Service of trees down. You've been watching the trees bending back and forth there. Trees down in Osgood, Versailles, and in Holton, and they say that more information is still to come. That's from the Ripley County Dispatch. So maybe some damage just from certainly from straight line winds this evening. When they're blowing 80 miles an hour, John, I'm sure we're going to get several reports of damage, but trees down already being reported in Osgood and Versailles this evening from winds that may be gusting up to 70 to 80 miles an hour as you continue to look live from Hebron this morning in the midnight hour of a line of destructive thunderstorms moving through the tri-state.
Winds there. All right. Yeah, he was right there on that gust front where those strong winds were coming through. And those winds should begin to drop now that the front part of the storm is past them there in Hebron on 237. But that is moving quickly. It's like it's a car going 70 miles an hour on 275 headed toward Kenton County. And it's not going to be long before it gets there to 75 and eventually out into Kenton County. So those winds are coming through. It'll be interesting to see what kind of reports we get from the airport with these winds. All right, let's reset things. I want to show you the alerts that we have in effect right now. Of course, a tornado watch is going to go until 4 in the morning. Thankfully, to this point, we've been okay, but there's something lurking down south I want to talk about. In orange, now through Warren County, Butler County, Hamilton County, Boone, Kenton County, Ohio, Switzerland County, Carroll, Gallatin, Owen, parts of northern Grant County. It is a severe thunderstorm warning for winds, in some cases on the southern part of this line, 70 to 80 miles per hour, although those winds have dropped. What's lurking to the south now, south down there toward Louisville, is a radar-confirmed tornado. And it's not in our viewing area. Unfortunately, it's moving toward our viewing area. So this is a look at it. I'm going to come in a little tighter on this, and we got to keep an eye on this. And yeah, it's one of those comma heads. It looks like a comma here on radar. So this is a radar-confirmed tornado down here for Henry, Jefferson, Shelby County. Again, just outside of our viewing area. And I imagine, again, that this thing is moving at about 70 miles an hour. They're trying to track it, and I want to take a look at the velocity of this because this may eventually get up into Owen County. And again, I need to change the radar here that I'm looking at it with, so we'll do this in real time. Yeah, there it is, coming out of the Louisville radar. Okay, right there. And so that's the winds they're looking at, the rotation right down here. And again, I'm pointing this out because it's going to be heading toward Owen County. And so that is going to be a problem for our friends in Owen County eventually. That is a look at this radar confirmed tornado coming out of the Louisville area. I think the forward speed on this has been around 70 miles an hour. And that's the same that most of this stuff has been moving. But let's draw this again to give you an idea. If it holds together, just after 1 a.m., Gratz and Monterey over in Owen County, if this holds together, we're going to keep an eye on it for you. But I want to point it out right now. Paul, you got something new over there.
I think the Weather Service out of Louisville is reporting that they did see some tornado debris signatures on radar from that very thing back a little farther back along the path. That was the reason for the upgrade on that to the confirmed.
Got it. Yeah, I've got it here, guys. So let me bring that up. I'm going to show you that debris signature. Here it is.
That's it.
There it is. And that's what I was going to look for next. So what you're looking at here, it's dual polarization Doppler radar. So as the Doppler radar beam scans out, you could think of the raindrops as all being one size, but any debris being a totally different size, and the radar can determine that. So where you see this color, this green and yellow showing up, that is not rain, it's not hail, that is debris being lofted up by a tornado. Is the forward speed around 70 still on this, Paul? Is that
70 miles an hour?
Okay, that's what we have. So we're going to have to watch that again, because just after 1 a.m., that could potentially get over into southwestern Owen County, as I said. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Again, that's just outside of our viewing area, one of those little spins that's occurring. So that is worth watching for our friends in Owen County. All right, I want to come back into downtown Cincinnati, show you the kind of the big view here of these storms now moving through Hamilton County, moving through Butler County, Boone County, coming into Kenton County and Campbell County, and now down into sections of Grant County. These locations are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. So I take away everything except for the warning polygons. You can see them here stretching through Butler, Warren County, western Warren County, down through Hamilton County, Kenton County, a little sliver of Campbell County, back across Boone County, northern parts of Grant County, down through Owen County, and Ohio and Switzerland County, and even down into Carroll and Gallatin County. Currently, we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Let's start on the northern end of this line now as we look at the severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for Butler County and Warren County. Winds to 70 miles per hour possible with this storm as it continues to move through Butler and Warren County. So I want to do a storm track on this northern section of the storm as it continues to the east here. So Liberty Township around 1245, Monroe 1247, Carlisle around 1249, Deerfield Township 1251, Lebanon 1254, Waynesville 1259, Butlerville 101, Spring Valley around 103. Again, winds to 70 miles per hour are possible along that section of the storm. We take you south and we'll give you another storm track here as these storms are moving across Hamilton County, Colerain Township, into downtown Cincinnati, down through Boone and Kenton County right now, where you too have a severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in effect for these locations. We bring that warning up right now. Again, winds to 70 miles per hour possible, a considerable threat out of these storms. Normal severe thunderstorm winds would be around 60 miles an hour. So we will do a track on these as they come across portions of northern Kentucky and move out across Hamilton County into Claremont County. Independence around 1244, Westchester 1247, Anderson around 1250, 1254 in Loveland, 1257 in New Richmond, Owensville around 104, Williamsburg, and 107 for our friends there in Blanchester. Prepare for considerable severe thunderstorm winds up to 70 miles per hour in those locations. And then the southern end of this line, again, tailing back across portions of northern Grant County, Owen County, and getting into Gallatin County and Carroll County. Again, this section of the line, we got to keep an eye on the southern part of it, because usually it's on the southern part that we can see the problems develop as far as rotation, and that's a concern here. But I want to give you a track on the southern part of this line as it kind of moves across this area tonight. So Walton, Glencoe, between 1248, 1251, Verona 1253, New Richmond and Claremont County close to 1, California at 102, Dry Ridge 106, Locust Grove 113, and Moscow around 1:15 is the arrival time of the southern portion of this storm tonight. That tornado warning still going on down there. I want to see if we still have the debris signature coming off this thing tonight. So let me switch over to radars and take a look. Yeah, it's still showing up there. Again, this is just outside of our viewing area. A radar confirmed tornado down here to the east of Louisville tonight, and that storm is eventually moving toward Owen County, and there it is on the radar reflectivity. But we're seeing some debris down here tonight. Just to zoom out and give you an idea, that would be southeast of LaGrange, again to the east of Louisville tonight. This little Boeing segment eventually is going to try to get into southern parts of Owen County, and so it's moving at 70 miles an hour. As it approaches southern Owen County, we're going to have to keep an eye on it, because again, there is a tornado warning with that. So I want to track this one out here, and as we get into our viewing area here, Gratz around 101, Monterey 105, Owenton 106, Beechwood 111, and Canby around 115 there in Owen County. So those locations, I think Canby's on the county line there. Those locations, we're going to keep an eye on this storm for you, because there is a confirmed tornado with it right now. It may not hold together. Hopefully it does not hold together before it gets to you. But we are seeing still the debris signature on radar with that one tonight. And it looks like it's getting weaker. That would be good. Note, I'm going to go backwards here. Look at that little green yellow dot, and notice how it kind of goes away. It's not quite as strong. So fingers crossed that that is going to get weaker as it pushes through. We need to keep an eye on this tonight. Meteorologist Paul Poteet, what do you got over there?
We're looking at the radar, and also looking at some of the cameras that we have set up, the tower cameras and cameras out in the field tonight, as this area of some really intense rain and lightning comes roaring through around Tylersville Road right now. This is the way it looks. Our own Tyler is at Tylersville Road with a live report. Hopefully you're bundled up tightly.
Yes, Paul, this rain has really picked up here. We're just off of 75 on Tylersville Road over the last few minutes. I'm going to have photographer Jay Kale kind of pan the camera over to the side here. This rain really picking up along with that wind and that thunder and lightning over these last few minutes. Everybody taking it slow on the roads. Those few cars that have been out there, but that rain really picking up over the last 5-10 minutes or so. A number of cars stopping here trying to get out of the rain, but just we're getting the, I guess, the beginning of this this front that's been moving through in this area here. That rain continuing to pick up, and we're seeing a lot more of that thunder and things like that, continuing to monitor the conditions. We've been out here for the last few hours, but only within the last few minutes have we really seen this rain start to pick up, guys.
And you could see quite a bit of that rain too. We looked at some of the totals earlier back out to the west, where it's already been coming down, and it's 1 to 3 inches across much of Indiana. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's been extended off to the east now, so I'll show you. We'll take off the radar for a moment here so it's easier to see the warnings that are involved. And this goes back out to the east now, all the way for you folks who are watching us, say over around Wilmington, almost into Hillsborough now, into Georgetown. I mean, look at that, John.
New severe thunderstorm.
That's pretty much our entire Ohio viewing area there.
So officially, Paul, just looking at the warning here, verbatim, southern Kenton County, western Bracken County, Campbell County, Grant County, Owen County, Pendleton County, eastern Gallatin County, northeastern Butler County, Claremont County, western Fayette County up in Ohio, that's out of our viewing area, eastern Hamilton County, northern Brown County, Warren County, Clinton County, Greene County just outside of our viewing area, western Highland County, and southeastern Montgomery County up into the Dayton area now. That is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to run until 1:30 in the morning. Winds to 60 miles an hour. That's the good thing. This is more of a normal severe thunderstorm warning. The bad thing is this storm is moving east at 75 miles per hour tonight. So it is moving very quickly. So let's do a track on this at 75 miles an hour. Again, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for all of the areas just mentioned. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, that's going to go until 1:30 in the morning. So here it is. I want to do a track on this one as it comes across the northern part of our viewing area here. Loveland 1251, Lebanon 1254, Owensville 1258, Harlan Township 1259, 102 Blanchester, 105 Sterling Township, 110 Wilmington, 115 Danville. Let's go back to that picture that we have live from Tylersville Road, where it is picking up again. I think they're getting the gust front coming through there, Paul.
Sheets of rain. I mean, it's just sheets of rain this evening. Here's the rain coming down. Portions of our area have been taken out from the tornado watch that we were looking at earlier. I'll show you a picture of that in just a few moments. That's been trimmed back a little bit as we look live. And the picture from Tyler Madden and the crew at Tylersville Road right now. Tyler, I mean, that's coming down in sheets. We've been talking about the 70, 80 mile an hour wind gusts, and that is a good visual representation of the sheets of rain pouring and rolling across the road.
Yeah, guys, it really, even just since we were back with you guys just a minute or two ago, real big gust of wind here. I was having to brace myself, just making sure that we weren't going to go anywhere, but we're doing all right here. But this gust really still continuing to come up here with these really torrential downpours. We can see kind of a car that stopped in the middle of the intersection here trying to figure out what to do. I think we're getting some of this heavy rain that you guys have been discussing just as another concern with these heavy winds that we're getting as well. So the conditions really picking up here in Westchester. We're right off Tylersville Road on 75, just off 75.
View from Westchester right now, live at 12:52 this morning. And this is the view from our camera in Covington looking back out to the west. Lots of lightning and the famous smeared lens of the rain pelting it right now. And that's what you may be hearing. Maybe you just turned on the TV because the thunder's been waking you up. I want to bring you one update here as far as the actual watch and warning situation goes. Some of the tornado watch has been cleared back out to the west. So if you're watching us in Brookville or Versailles or Connorsville, in those areas, the tornado watch has already been allowed to expire. What we have right now in the tri-state, obviously, are big wind gusts that you just saw and that we've been seeing with radar too, 70, 80 mile an hour wind gusts. And so these are all severe thunderstorm warnings that are in place right now. And we've also had our eye on that one tornado warning that's out of the viewing area, but poses a threat maybe for our viewers in Owenton as it continues to roll to the northeast. So that's the reset now. We're seeing kind of a back edge maybe to the tornado watch and the threat of tornado activity to the west at least. But you also are going to be dealing with the thing that we've been talking about the last few days. It's not just the severe weather or the winds, but it's the rain. These are radar estimates of how much rain has fallen the last couple of hours. And John, those amounts anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. And it's not hard to imagine when you see the pictures that we've just been looking at.
Power outages now, Paul, up to 10,000 reported without power now across the tri-state. And here's the reason why. We're picking up some big time winds coming here through northern Campbell County, southeastern Hamilton County. These are heading over into southern Claremont County. So winds being detected by radar, 56, 60 miles an hour, but some pockets of winds over 70 miles per hour that we're really concerned with near the Melbourne area now. That's what Doppler radar is indicating now, those winds right into the Melbourne area where you see some of these brighter yellow colors right along River Road, Silver Grove here going into Ross, New Palestine there. Some big time winds being detected by radar. And coming up into Anderson Township, you got Asbury right there, 5 Mile Road, Watch Hill, Fruit Hill right there, Cherry Grove right there. So these winds are concerning, being picked up by radar. They're coming quickly toward Cherry Grove, Anderson Township, Withamsville now, and I want to track this batch of winds right here. That's moving again around 75 miles an hour as it comes up here into Claremont County now. So there's a look at some arrival times. Cherry Grove, 12:55, Union Township 12:58, mild stomping grounds out there. Amelia 12:59, Batavia 1:01 a.m., Craver 1:02, Owensville 1:03, Newtonsville 1:06, and Williamsburg around 1:07. These are straight line winds here being detected by Doppler between 60 and 70 plus miles per hour coming out of Campbell County and southeastern Hamilton County. Coming over through Claremont County tonight. That's a look at the winds on radar. We come back, we show you the reflectivity, the rain, the lightning strikes here coming through Anderson, up to Newtown, up to Madisonville, coming into Withamsville and into Pierce Township now, extending back into the Alexandria area. Those are some big time winds with this little bowing segment now coming across Campbell County, out of Campbell County into Claremont County and eastern Hamilton County. So you get these little bowing segments, you get some pretty strong winds with them, and that is what we're seeing with that particular line of storms right now. The severe thunderstorm warnings, as we look at this again, go all the way out through, and it looks like they just upped that one again, Paul. So we went to the higher level, I think, is what.
And you'll
done.
notice something else when you look at the chart you had up of the warnings. They've now extended the tornado warning that was back there in northern Kentucky around Eminence and Christiansburg. So they've extended that to the east, northeast, almost up into Owenton, which is in our viewing area, Owen County. So that's a new tornado warning that goes until 1:30. It includes Slabtown and Defoe, and we'll get you, again, this is moving northeast, as many of these cells have been in the last hour or so, at about 70 miles an hour. So given that information and looking at that rotation that you're looking at right now, where you see the little splotches there, and we're actually seeing some rotation in Owenton, then it's a possibility, if this gets extended to the northeast, that moving on the speed that it's been moving, say, they're right around 421 and moving up to the northeast, that it could be a factor for you in Owenton just after 1 o'clock this morning if it retains some of the characteristics that have prompted the tornado warning. Be ready for that. If you're watching us in Owenton just after 1 o'clock, about 1:12 this morning, can be at 1:20. Dry Ridge, possibly, if it would hold together just before 1:30, and Goforth at 1:35 this morning. So where you see shaded in red, those are tornado warnings that are in place now till 1:30 this morning, and that first one there for parts of Henry and Shelby County until 1 o'clock, and then the one that is just to the southwest of Owenton, that's in place until 1:30. So that's the one area where right now we probably have the biggest threat of ending up with a tornado warning yet in our viewing area. But you see there's still some rotation being indicated. Again, these are these purple streaks that you see right here. And that's part of the area that's under this big, broad, severe thunderstorm warning. Where the lines are moving like this, that's the considerable damage tag, and it covers up much of the tri-state right now. And there's probably, last time I looked, John, there was still a little bit of a wave to the line here. Well, maybe the structure looks like it's changed a bit now. But earlier this evening, we were certainly seeing a lot of, a wavy pattern to what was going through here. Looks like some of that heavy rain that we saw in those pictures from Tylersville Road and what I was showing you from our tower cam at CVG, some of that heaviest rain has pulled off to the east, but there's steady showers all the way back right now to I-74 over toward Greensburg. So we hear it on the roof here, and I'm sure you're hearing it, and some thunder in your houses too.
Yeah, Paul, we just had a wind gust to 72 miles an hour at Lunken Airport.
Wow.
so I showed you that batch of winds that I was concerned with. So that's the reason that they went upwards on the warning criteria now. So all this box you see, the blanket severe thunderstorm warnings, like taking a blanket thrown over our counties, there it is. Winds to 70 miles an hour possible. In this case at Lunken Airport, 72 miles an hour. The wind gusts that occurred there. So yeah, some serious wind.
And they're moving. The storms are producing wind gusts up to 70, 80 miles an hour, and they're moving at 70 miles an hour too. There's a lot of momentum in the atmosphere tonight, a lot of energy.
Oh my goodness, I would say, all right, I want to come back to that area of storms here, and I want to look at the velocities, and I want to get the right view here, because we were tracking that big area of wind, and there it is. Okay, so now it's moving. So this is what produced the 72 mile an hour wind gust at Lunken Airport. It's coming out of Campbell County across Claremont County right now. So it's that area that you see the yellow. It doesn't maybe look quite as strong as earlier at first glance. See if I can query some of the pictures. Oh, still got some 72 showing up here. 65 and 58 on the southern end of it. So yeah, coming now into western Claremont County over Union Township and down to Pierce Township. Doppler radar is estimating winds of 65 to over 70 miles an hour. These are the same winds that moved across Lunken Airport that just produced a wind gust to 72 miles per hour a little while ago. So again, we talked about this. An EF0 tornado has winds of 65 to 85 miles an hour. So these winds, you know, on the northern end of this coming into western Claremont County are equivalent to an EF0 tornado. So if you're watching here through Pierce Township into Owensville through Claremont County, treat this like a small tornado. Treat this like a wind threat that could do similar damage to a small tornado. It's approaching 50 right now. Paul, what do you got?
We do have a tornado warning that covers a very small portion of our viewing area, but definitely want to let you know about this. This is the red polygon that you see here. It's a tornado warning. It's in effect until 1:15. It's mainly in Greene and Montgomery County, but as you see there, just a little bit of Warren County to the north of Waynesville and also Clear Creek Township. Brand new tornado warning. The storm that's capable of producing a tornado is near Bellbrook, and it's moving this one to the northeast at about 60 miles an hour. So there's the area that's affected by the tornado warning. There you can see a little wave. I was just talking a moment ago about it still looked a little wavy in spots. And so Bellbrook, they mentioned at the Weather Service, well, there you go, maybe right around Ferry this morning. And again, just to the north of Waynesville, the north of Corwin. Some areas that were close to some of the action that we had on Sunday night, actually, now that I think about it, John. So this is something to watch here. And again, it's just about, already out of our viewing area, but just in the northeastern corner of Warren County right now. We'll give you a quick look at the rotation there. This will show you the last
there it is.
Couple of frames. And yes, right there around in between Clear Creek Township and Ferry. So if you do happen to watch us, still in Bellbrook up toward Xenia, this is a brand new tornado warning, and that goes in effect until I think it was 1:15. Yeah, 1:15 this morning for Greene, Montgomery, and a small portion of Warren County from Ferry to the northeast all the way over towards Xenia. Again, a little bit of a twist in the line as we've seen a couple of different times. And we do still have our eyes down on the southern part of the viewing area, because that is, we'll move the radar down to the southwest where we were watching in Owen County, because the possibility is there that eventually the storm that's been producing some of the signatures down to the south, there you see it just to the southwest of Owenton, just to the southwest of Gratz. Earlier, that was a tornado warning that had been confirmed. And in the Slabtown area right now, there is some rotation that has been detected there. We'll put on our tracker here and see where we are right now. Well, they've got it. They've got it kind of surrounding our viewing area at this time, with Slabtown and then over toward Elmville.
That's what you call a difference in opinion of two weather
Well,
service
I mean,
offices.
obviously, anybody looking at this is going to notice.
That's what it is.
The reason is because the Wilmington area of responsibility is right here.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's just, as you said, a difference of opinion as to whether or not it's tornadic. You know, they have a severe thunderstorm warning with the considerable damage tag already in place.
Sure.
There, so.
And in this case, it's half dozen of one, six of the other.
Yeah, if you're getting winds of 80 miles an hour anyway.
That's the point. And that's the point I want to make about what I'm tracking here on the screen behind me. Now, what's coming across Claremont County, this is equivalent to an EF0 tornado. We've got winds here of over 70 miles an hour that are moving out through central Claremont County. They're coming into northern Claremont County as we speak, approaching East Fork State Park here. So Owensville around 105, Newtonsville 108, Williamsburg 108, Sterling Township around 112, Fayetteville as you get into Brown County at 114, Mount Orab 116, Harwood 118, and Dodson Township around 121. It's this batch of winds that produced a wind gust to 72 miles per hour at Lunken Airport. As it came across Lunken Airport earlier, that batch of winds now moving through Claremont County. And we put this in motion here, and you're going to see how this batch of winds is moving right up across this warning here, approaching East Fork State Park, approaching the Williamsburg area, approaching Owensville, up to Newtonsville, approaching again sections of Bantam there, where you've got East Fork State Park. So winds perhaps over 70 miles per hour in this location here coming into Claremont County. So we're keeping a close eye on that, and you can see I'm coming through Stone Lake Township into Owensville right now. Let's see if we can get a query on some of these. Yeah, 65 there. So what we got, 58 there, a little lower there with some of these, and let's see what that is, around 65 there. So they may have come down a little bit from where they were earlier, but that is some destructive wind that is moving from East Fork State Park up into the Batavia area, Stone Lake Township, Owensville, eventually moving out toward Newtonsville, Marathon, Laredo, Williamsburg, in the path of those winds. Very strong winds with that line of storms that is moving through. I want to come back to our tornado warning right now that is in effect for the far northern section of Warren County, and there it is. It's going to go into 115, but that is moving out of Warren County quickly here. So I want to look at storm relative velocity up here, and yeah, it's moving past that location very fast. There it was, the little kink on the line. So it looks like that tornado threat is over now for Warren County proper. It's moved out of Warren County. It looks like moving now to the north there, up into Greene County. At this juncture, moving over toward the Xenia area. So that was very short-lived, thank goodness. Again, there's our risk areas tonight, the severe threat that we continue to track. Highest threat has been through Indiana. There's a brand new tornado warning. Yep, we got a new one. So there it is, guys. Brand new tornado warning that is in effect for Clinton and Warren County. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado that you see right here. Paul, give me a speed on that when you get the chance.
That is currently, that warning, by the way, goes until 1:30.
Okay.
And hang on just a
So right, take your time. There it is. You can clearly see the circulation right here. And as we
right
look
around,
at that, yeah, that's moving at 60 is what we've got it pegged at, 60 miles an hour with this Doppler radar indicated tornado, Warren and Clinton County. So moving at 60 miles an hour. Let's give a track on this as it moves across Warren and Clinton counties. So if you're in these locations in Rochester, Hicks, Clarksville, Vernon Township, Ogden, Wilmington, and up there toward the air park. You need to get to your safe place right now. Get to the lowest level of your home. If you have a basement, that's where you want to go. If you don't have a basement, that's okay. Just get to the lowest level and a room in the middle of your house. A room without windows, usually a bathroom without windows, a closet, a good place to be. Rochester around 109, Hicks 111, Clarksville 116, Vernon Township 117, Ogden at 120, Wilmington 124, and Wilmington Clinton Field around 125. The time of arrival of this Doppler radar indicated tornado, and there it is, quickly moving. Again, we're going to come in a little tighter here. I'm going to show you moving up 22 there, moving right up 22. Senior, Morrow, Hicks, right in this area. This is a possible tornado. Again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. We don't have confirmation of a tornado on the ground here, but we're certainly going to continue to check that as we look at it. Yeah, well, maybe a little, you know what, Paul, a little lowering of the CC there for sure. So coming through Morrow, coming up to Senior, coming up through Hicks. So perhaps some hints of that tonight.
Well, I tell you what,
yeah.
the old Little Miami Trail has been a magnet, it seems like, the last couple of years, because that's right there, you know, underneath that polygon that you're looking at right now. So that's Morrow, and that's our rotation tracker just to the south of Rochester there, as that moves up to the northeast. So again, that's a new tornado warning. That goes this morning until 1:30 for a portion of Clinton and Warren County. We'll zoom out a little bit and give you a little more perspective and take a look at the latest radar return on that too. There's still some, you know, little kinks, as we call them, in the lines here that have been rolling through. We'll put this into motion so you can see an hour's worth and see it rolling in. And you'll notice in the structure of the storm, as we've been pointing out, that there's a little bit of back and forth there, and that's certainly the case right now. So if you're watching us in Warren County at this time, and eventually in Clinton County, anywhere around Morrow, over towards Senior there, and Hicks, and then points to the northeast eventually toward Clarksville and Vernon Township. So we have that tornado warning that's in place. We'd had one earlier in just the very far northeastern sliver of Warren County. That was the one that had been around Xenia. So that's out of our viewing area, but that's the new one. Down to the south, we had our eye on a potential tornado warning that has not happened, but some big winds around the Owenton area. Big winds everywhere. And you know what happens when we have big winds? The power lines can start to go and the power can start to go. Kyle and Paula have been gathering some information about how many people on this early Thursday morning are without power right now, guys.
And it is a whole lot of people without power at this time. Duke Energy reporting 33,000 households across the greater Cincinnati area without power right now. You can see the outage map there from Duke Energy. I've got to put up here on my phone as well, so you can kind of zoom in and see some of the larger areas. One of those with about 877 outages is in the Blue Ash area, and then there's about 1,000 in the Madisonville area, and then Pleasant Ridge reporting about 962. Again, I'm just trying to zoom in on my phone to look at these.
It's amazing how quickly it's changed in just like the last 20 minutes. It went from 10,000 to 33,000 just in that short amount of time. Here in Mount Auburn, where we are, the lights are flickering.
Yeah, that was kind of our first alert that things were getting a little dicey out there, is when we were sitting in our office and we saw the lights go off. You turned to me and you said, "Hey, did you see that?" Yep, we did see that.
Almost felt it and saw it. Can we zoom in a little tighter there on the to see which communities are affected?
I can tell you, based off my phone, looking at the northern Kentucky side,
that's the way to do it.
We can see about 521 in Fort Thomas, in that area. Highland Heights, or just outside Highland Heights, which would probably be more the Cold Spring area. They have about 1,000. So that's one of the larger areas, especially when you're looking on the northern Kentucky side of things.
Yeah,
56 or so in Taylor Mill.
Look how scattered it is. That's the thing that is really for in Covington here. Very widespread. Obviously, it's probably tree damage. Trees down on the lines. Cherry Grove, 2,000.
Yeah, it looks like we have
4,000
about
Mount Washington.
500 in the Marymount area. And
Yeah.
obviously the question a lot of people are wondering, when will that power be restored? And you know, we just don't really know at this time because the storm system has to get through here before the crews can even begin to assess and begin to restore that. So hopefully people were able to charge their devices, as John and Paul were giving lots of alerts throughout the day to do that. I think John has something to say, so we'll pass it over to John for a moment.
Guys, we want to stay with this tornado warning for Clinton County and Warren County right now. We continue to track this Doppler radar indicated tornado around Clarksville at 1:15, Springfield Church around 1:18, 1:19, Ogden, Wilmington around 1:23, Wilmington, Clinton Field 1:24, Starbucktown 1:26, Melvin around 1:30. If you are in those communities, get to your safe place right now. Again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado that we're seeing moving right now into Vernon Township. So I want to come in a little tighter and show you the locations here. So Vandervoort's Corners, Vernon Township, Ogden, right here in the path of this possible tornado where the greens and blues are kind of coming together here, and we get these little kind of bends in this wind field. That is what we're focusing on right now. So this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. We don't have a confirmation of a tornado, but I've been looking at this and we've had perhaps some hints of a little CC drop there, which can tell us that there could potentially be some debris there. So that is a circulation that we're watching coming into the Wilmington area right now, where we do have, again, a tornado warning that is up for portions of Clinton and Warren County until 1:30. It looks like it's beginning to move out of Warren County, though, just into Clinton County at this point. So we take this off. I want to give you an idea of, again, where that's located. There it is. Those are the locations. So up to Gurneyville, Little Center officially in it, Wilmington, you're on the edge of this tornado warning, Ogden, Vernon Township as well. So those are the spots we have concern with for a possible tornado. It's coming quickly here. I want to put another track on this. It's moving around 60 miles an hour. And as this comes, I want to give a track all along this warning polygon here. As this comes right up into the Wilmington area, there is where it's headed. Again, Ogden here around 1:18, Beech Grove Church 1:19, Gurneyville around 1:20, Little Center 1:21, Wilmington Clinton Field showing up again around 1:21, 1:22 Wilmington, and Williams Stadium around 1:23, a Doppler radar indicated tornado tonight. Something that we're going to keep a close eye on as that moves toward the Wilmington area. Again, we don't have a confirmation of a tornado with that just yet. And here we go, brand new tornado warning. We're going to bring this one up right now. Here it is. They finally issued for it. Grant, Pendleton County, Doppler radar indicated tornado. This tornado warning is going to go until 1:45, a brand new tornado warning again until 1:45. I want to try to get a good view of the winds on this thing. See, oh yeah, there we go. Okay, here's a tornado, folks, a possible tornado crossing now into Owen County. So this is between Lawrenceville and Canby, right in this location here. That is a possible tornado right there that we're looking at. So this is coming up very quickly. Let me take a look at this. And Paul, if you have get a forward speed on this too, we'd like to kind of give a track on it. But this is the area of rotation we're watching between Lawrenceville and Canby. The locations we're looking at here.
This is moving to the northeast at 65 miles an hour.
65. Okay, so we're going to get a track on that, give you an idea of where this one is going to end up. So northeast to 65 miles an hour. It's moving out of Owen County, now across Grant County. It's eventually going to move up into Pendleton County. So a Doppler radar indicated tornado possible here. 1:18 arrival in Kiefer. Blanchette around 1:20. Williamstown around 1:24. Locust Grove around 1:27. Goforth 1:30. Morgan, your arrival time 130, Hayes 133, Falmouth 135. So if you're in these areas, get to your safe place, lowest level of your home. If that's a basement, go there, wait this thing out until it passes by. This is a possible tornado. We have indications by Doppler radar of circulation here, and there it is, approaching 75. It's coming out of Owen County into Grant County, so it's approaching I-75 down here south of Cherry Grove, Kentucky, going toward the Mason area, riding right up there, getting right across 75 in Grant County. Doppler radar indicated tornado. I want to take a look and see if I could find how much. Yeah, and there's the rotation that's showing up here. And again, this product's going to be slightly behind our velocity product, but you get the idea. There is an area of rotation that's crossing now into Grant County. And that's the one that the Weather Service in Louisville had been warning on. I want to see if we got any type of CC drop with this thing that we're seeing, and I'm not seeing any conclusive evidence there at this point. But yeah, that's the location we're looking at right now. Tornado warning, Grant and Pendleton County. Doppler radar indicated. That is going to go until 1:45 in the morning. We got just over 8,000 people impacted. Paul.
And we want to tell our viewers that have been tracking with us in Warren County and Clinton County, that tornado warning has been canceled. So we will continue to track the one down to the south in northern Kentucky in a few moments. Speaking of Kentucky, from what I understand, and there are going to be a lot of damage reports that become clearer as the day dawns here. Kyle and Paula have a story of a tree down in Erlanger.
Yeah, sadly, Adam Robbins, our photographer, is in Erlanger right now on Division Street, and let's see those pictures. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, this was a tree down on a house there.
Yeah, and early indications, the initial call, at least we are told, was that someone was trapped in the house. So presumably, that's what those first responders are looking for right now. We do not have confirmation on if, that person was found, if there were any injuries there. It's very early on, as you can see, the first responders, a heavy presence there, but obviously the early call, or the initial call, was that someone was trapped in the house. So they are investigating that, trying to figure out. But when you look at the scope of this damage, you see the tree right there causing a whole lot of damage to that home. Again, this is on Division Street there in Erlanger. A live look at the first responders assessing the damage and probably looking to see if someone was trapped in that home, because that was the initial call to first responders, was that someone was trapped again.
And Adam, behind the camera there, about a half hour ago in that area, we were just seeing waves of water going down the street. It was like an ocean. We've got to go back to John. He's waving.
Yeah, we've got a brand new tornado warning, guys, that we're going to get to right now. Let's take you there on radar. And this is a brand new one. Yeah, there it is. Okay, this is a confirmed tornado now on the ground, confirmed by Doppler radar. This tornado warning just now issued for northern Brown County, southwestern Fayette County, southeastern Clinton County, and northern Highland County, all in Ohio, until 1:45. So you'll notice here, I'm going to take away the radar, just show you this purple polygon. So when you get the purple, that's a confirmed tornado on the ground. Leesburg, Penn Township, New Vienna, Lees Creek, Willitsville, Dodson Township, down close to Ferristown. In these locations, get to your safe place right now. This is a Doppler radar confirmed tornado moving across these locations here. And let's see if we can get a look at this. And you can see, yeah, we've got a spin up right there. And yep, there it is. Okay, so right here is the tornado where you see this debris signature very close to St. Martin now, moving off to the northeast. If you're in Webertown, I need you to get to your safe spot right now. Get to the basement, get to the lowest level of your home right now, as this is a confirmed tornado on the ground moving through these locations. Paul, do they have
the forward speed on that one is northeast at 60 miles an hour.
Okay,
Here's
so
what John is talking about right around St. Martin. This is moving to the northeast, as all of these cells have been at a pretty rapid pace, 60 miles an hour.
Okay, so I'm putting the track on it right now. So we'll give you the track of where this is going to go. Webertown 125, Dodson Township now 126, Lynchburg Clay Elementary 127, 133 Mount Olive Church, New Vienna at 134, New Vienna Elementary School 135, Carytown around 137. This is a confirmed, radar confirmed tornado via debris signature that we're seeing right now that has popped up here around St. Martin, moving toward Webertown, eventually moving into the Lynchburg area. So here we are at St. Martin. You've got, it looks like 251 running north-south there. You've got 50 down here to the south. So this tornado is on the ground north of 50, now to the east of 231, and it is moving toward the Webertown area. As we look at the track of this, how it's been moving, and there's the latest scan moving south of Webertown. We've got debris here coming into Webertown, the southern part of Webertown. This debris, this is a tornado on the ground here south of Webertown. It is now approaching the Lynchburg area. So if you're in these spots, you need to get to your safe place right now. It's moving at 60 miles an hour, coming up into Lynchburg, coming up into Dodson Township. So 127, the arrival in Lynchburg, and 127 at Lynchburg Clay Elementary School. And there it is. And it looks like on the latest scan, there it is, moving now quickly over 134, 135 as we track this tornado live on the ground right here into Dodson Township, coming into the south side of Lynchburg now. That is a tornado that's on the ground throwing debris north of 50, north of 50. It's getting ready to cross 134. It's going toward Willitsville. So if you're in the Willitsville area now, get to your safe place. Again, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground via Doppler radar here. So Dunn Chapel around 130, Williamsville or Willitsville around 130. The estimated time of arrival as it crosses over into Highland County. We got a confirmed tornado on the ground via Doppler radar here. We're getting a debris signature on dual polarization radar. So there it was, and it was a stronger debris signal back there into northern Brown County. It started very close to St. Martin, moved south of Webertown, now Dodson Township, Lynchburg, approaching the Willitsville area. And I'm looking at that yellow that you see on the screen here, right here. That is the feature that we are tracking now, approaching 124 as we speak. A confirmed tornado on the ground here that is now moving out over portions of Highland County. Northwestern Highland County is where we have this confirmed tornado on the ground. That is the debris signature that we're following there, and we put it in motion again when I kind of watch this thing move across that area. And there it is, approaching the Willitsville area right now. We're getting that debris signature. I'm going to come over to our storm relative velocity. Yep. And there we are on the latest radar scan where the greens and reds are coming together. That is where we have a tornado on the ground. Okay, they just updated the track there. And we're going to take a look at this. Folks, get to your safe spot if you're here in northwestern Highland County. If you're here around the New Vienna area, if you're here around the Leesburg area, we're going to draw another polygon. It's going to bring this thing up into places like New Vienna around 130, New Vienna Elementary School 131, Carytown around 133, Penn Township at 135, Fairfield Highland Elementary School around 136, Highland Station around 136, Fairfield High School around 138, Leesburg also around 138. These locations here, again, in the path of a confirmed tornado with a debris signature that we have seen on the ground. That is now crossing 124. It's headed towards 73 there. Again, going to come very close to New Vienna, Gist Settlement, Penn Township. Leesburg, some of the locations that we're watching. And as I expand this, I'm going to give you an expanded storm track of where this thing is, where it's possibly going. And that is concerning when we see a debris signature like that on the ground. Let's come back over to it now. There it is, again, approaching New Vienna. I'm going to come back and take a look at that. Yeah, okay. Yep, and there it is, tornado on the ground, Penn Township, approaching Highland Station. We are still getting that debris signature right in this area, approaching 72, right in this general area. So if you are anywhere here in this polygon, we still have confirmation of a tornado on the ground right now via Doppler radar scan. We can see the debris from this storm as it's moving through these areas. I want to get back to our storm relative velocity now. So we look at this thing as it comes through. And again, within this polygon, we need you to get to your safe spot. So let's do another track of locations that will be impacted by this possible tornado. So we're still calling out New Vienna Elementary School, Carytown between 130, 132, Penn Township 133, Highland Station 135, Fairfield High School 137, Leesburg 137, East Monroe around 139, and it looks like they've gone back to the Doppler radar indicated tornado warning right now. That is good news. Doppler radar indicated tornado, so it looks like the debris signature, yep, it's going away. So it was there and now it's kind of gone away. That is good news, but still a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning for portions of northern Highland County and southeastern Clinton County and a little section of Fayette County, Ohio, that's going to go until 1:45. I'm glad we're not seeing that debris signature anymore coming up through there. Looks like we have lost it, so that is good news. But still, if you're in these locations, get to your safe place, because sometimes these tornadoes can drop, they can do some damage for a while, and then they can lift again, and that could be the case here. So we want to stay with this right now. There's another view of some of these winds, and I mean, just looking at some of the winds here, yeah, we've got winds clearing some pixels of 75, 68 miles an hour coming through here. So even if we don't have a tornado anymore, there is some serious wind here moving along the Highland-Clinton County line, where we have a Doppler radar indicated tornado now, no longer a radar confirmation, but a Doppler radar indicated tornado. And that tornado warning is going to go until 1:45 here, covering southeastern sections of Clinton County and northern sections of Highland County. There it is, radar indicated, no longer radar confirmed, Paul, and that's an important distinction.
And while you've been tracking that, we've also been keeping an eye on that tornado warning that was out to the south, originally for Grant and Pendleton counties. It goes to 1:45. It's still in place right now for Pendleton County. This, again, is a Doppler radar indicated. This had not been confirmed by any kind of a signature, but still rotation in Goforth and Morgan, Hayes, and this would be moving toward Falmouth. So if you're watching us in Falmouth early on this morning, or Four Oaks or Hayes or Morgan, please continue to shelter at least for a few more moments. Let's see, it's 1:33 in the morning. This warning goes until 1:45. And the winds, once again, are pretty intense, as they've been with all of these storms. So a tornado warning there. We're looking inside of the storm at some of the winds that have been around. Good news again, the earlier signature of debris around Willetsville and Dodson Township not showing up anymore, but there's still a little waviness, certainly to those lines there. And we still have, John, the tornado warning. It's just not a confirmed tornado anymore.
Yeah, and that's the good news. I kind of want to reset here quickly. They've gotten rid of the tornado watch back across the west. Butler County, you're out of it. Most of Southeast Indiana, in fact, all of Southeast Indiana, looks like you're out of it right now. So that's the good news here. The warnings now in the eastern half of our viewing area, and we just, I believe, have a brand new tornado warning. This is for the northeastern tip of Clinton County near Sabina. If you're in Sabina, I need you to get to your safe place right now. This is going to be until 2 a.m., although the threat will end earlier there. Sabina, points east of Sabina, get to your safe place right now. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado warning for northeastern Clinton County. And there is a look at that. And in fact, it's moving out of Clinton County quickly. Moving toward Glendon, moving toward Washington Courthouse right now. This is the latest tornado warning. This Doppler radar indicated tornado is moving at around 60 miles an hour. That is the forward speed of this one. So I do want to give a track on this one as it comes right out of Clinton County and moves up toward Washington Courthouse. So Clinton County is the edge of our viewing area, but Glendon, Luray between 136 and 140, Chafin Elementary School 141, Washington Courthouse around 142, Bloomingburg 146, and Marion Township Centralized School around 147. That is a Doppler radar indicated tornado right now, northeast Clinton County, and it is eventually going to move right up there into Fayette County as well. Pickaway County also included in that brand new Doppler radar indicated tornado warning. So that is what we're looking at right now. That's this one. Still a tornado warning officially for northern parts of Highland County, southeastern portions of Clinton County, and officially still in Pendleton County. We have a tornado warning up surrounding that. Severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect. We want to go back to Paula and Kyle quickly. We have reports of damage beginning to come in right now, guys.
Yeah, we want to go live to a look at what we are seeing on Hunt Avenue in Hamilton. You can see here a tree is down blocking the road there. Again, this is at Hunt Avenue in Hamilton.
Yeah, a wire on the ground there too. So very dangerous situation. And again, it's just really striking how widespread this is. The last video we got from Adam Rodmans in Erlanger, you know, south, and we're seeing the power outages the same way. In fact, I think we have that map, 44,000 without power right now.
Yeah, actually it's up to 46,000, and we just got that update not too long ago, but that just tells you how quickly and rapidly that things are changing here. Yeah, 46,000 people, households, I should say, without power across greater Cincinnati right now. And once again, if you kind of zoom in, it looks like the largest chunk, about 23,000, kind of in the
Got to go to
Loveland.
Paul. He's got a warning.
All right, Paul, we'll send it to you.
Yes, we've got a brand new tornado warning. This is going to be for portions of Pendleton County and Bracken County, if you're watching us there. We've been tracking that system around Falmouth, as you'll recall. So this is an extension off to the east. And once again, what we'll do is give you a look at what we think is the rotation through there in the last couple of frames.
Approaching Bachelor's Rest.
Yeah,
Bachelor's Rest.
There you go. Bachelor's Rest, eventually over to Berlin and Milford and Claysville and Oddville down there. So, boy, it's right up and down 27 right now from Falmouth down to Garnett. And, John, that one is going to be in place here for the next few moments. That one goes until 2 a.m. this morning.
Okay, I want to give a storm track on this one right now. It's moving at around 75 miles an hour. All right, so this one is flying. Browning Corner, get to your safe place right now. Basement, the best place to be, lowest level of your home. Middle room, interior room, away from windows. We're talking Berlin, 140. Forest Hills Church, 140. Cumminsville, around 143. Cumminsville, Kentucky, not the neighborhood. Brooksville, 144. Pleasant Valley High School, 144. Chatham, around 147. And Germantown, 148. A Doppler radar indicated tornado, again, down here, moving out of Pendleton County into Bracken County. You folks have a tornado warning now in effect for these areas. And I want to take a look at, yeah, there's the rotation that we've been watching coming out of Pendleton County, now moving over into Bracken County. Again, that product's a little behind, but we can look at the velocity here. I'm going to bring that up and I'm going to switch it over to the proper radar. And there it is. So the possible tornado, I'm going to kind of circle the location of it here to give you an idea of what we're looking at. Very close to Bachelor's Rest Browning Corner is where we're seeing this rotation now that has led to this brand new tornado warning. So if you're in Willow, if you're in Berlin, if you're in Powersville, if you're in Petra, you need to get to your safe place right now with this Doppler radar indicated tornado warning for Bracken and Pendleton County that is going to run until 2 o'clock in the morning. These locations, again, could see a tornado. Doppler radar indicated. Let's give you a bigger view of this as we track this, again, moving at 75 miles an hour. That is moving quickly, folks. There it is. It's going to come right up in this general direction. So Berlin, again, around 140, Petra 140, Brooksville, Kentucky, get to your safe spot, 143, Cumminsville 143, Pleasant Valley School 143, Gertrude 145, Chatham 146, and Germantown around 148. You folks under a tornado warning for a Doppler radar indicated tornado. There is no confirmation of a tornado, but we are seeing a circulation here, and I want to see if I can bring up how strong that circulation might be. Okay. Yeah, not a ton of gate-to-gate shear, but enough there that the Weather Service has decided to go ahead and issue this tornado warning. I'm going to check debris, see if we have anything possibly showing up here right now. And yeah, there's a little bit of a drop of the CC there. Again, not a lot to be concerned with, but this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado crossing out of Pendleton County, now coming into Bracken County. So do me a favor, if you're in Brooksville, get to your safe place, wait for this thing to pass. Let's hope we don't get a tornado dropping out of it. But looking at the velocities here, I'm going to come back and take a look at that different radar view. Yeah, there it is. So we look at some of the winds here, and it's coming right into Powersville right now is where we're seeing this rotation. Right into the Powersville area. Let me get this different radar view here up on the screen. And again, Doppler radar indicated here, coming right along 22, right up into 10, around Powersville, moving toward Brooksville right now. So this is the spot that we're watching. We will do another track on this. I'm going to take it out a little farther here. So again, Berlin, your estimated time of arrival 141, Powersville 143, Bladeston 144, Brooksville 145, Pleasant Valley School 145, Chatham 147, Augusta, you're right there on the edge, 149, and Minerva 152. Get to your safe place in these locations. That is a Doppler radar indicated tornado moving out of Pendleton County now into Bracken County, and it is Doppler radar indicated. I still don't see any huge signs of a tornado there, but it is certainly possible that we have one in that little Boeing line segment that is moving across this area. I want to come back up here to the north, check on my storms to the north. Looks like the threat is almost over here for this tornado warning for northern parts of Highland County, southeastern Clinton County. As we come back and take a look at that, yeah, it's almost, the warning is almost out of that warning polygon. It's right on the edge, still south of Greenfield there, perhaps a little spin up possible, but I think a lot of that threat is going to come to an end very shortly. And the threat from this storm that prompted the tornado warning earlier, now moving up toward Washington Courthouse. So that is beginning to move out of our viewing area right now. So I just want to give you a reset, give you an idea of what we're looking at right now. A line of severe storms continues to work through. There's these little bowing line segments that continue to move through that have prompted severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings. So this is the big view. Severe thunderstorm warnings go out through sections of Highland County, now into Adams County, now into Mason, Robertson County, Brown County, southern Claremont, southern portions of Campbell and Kenton, down through portions of Pendleton County, far eastern sections of Grant under a severe thunderstorm warning. And then we have the tornado warning in effect now for Bracken County, still officially southeast Clinton County, northern parts of Highland County. But again, that threat is beginning to move out. Meteorologist Paul Poteet, the end is near with these storms. They're going to be moving out soon because they're booking it.
The end is near. The one warning that you were talking about for a portion of Clinton County, that should drop off of our screens here in about 30 seconds. That was supposed to end at 1:45 this morning. But we're still in the soup as far as just the rain goes. It's steady all the way back to the western part of our viewing area. It's just not quite as intense as what we see right now around Greenfield and back into Hillsborough and down to the south too. And so we're keeping an eye on this right now. We're still detecting some rotation around Berlin down. This is where we were looking at before, Bachelor's Rest, as this moves off to the east, close to 19 right now, and Milford. So that's one place where we want you into your safe spot. Back out to the west. The rain that we're just starting to see around here, the steady rain behind the storms, for some of you who no longer have thunderstorms, it's been coming down to the tune of 1 to 3 inches. And at CVG, I've been keeping an eye on how much rain has fallen officially at the airport. 72 hundredths of an inch so far since it really started kicking in, which was around maybe midnight this morning. So this is the reason why we have a flood watch. And there's some thunder to go along with it. This is the reason why we have the flood watch that goes out all the way through the weekend, are these rain totals that we see back out to the west. There you see the rain totals, and we've also been looking at the sky, both from our reporters out there. That's the view from our tower camera right now of this very stormy, very early Thursday morning. There's the radar at 1:45, and as far as warnings go, I guess we're just down to this one now. This is the tornado warning for those of you watching us in Bracken County. This tornado warning goes until 2 o'clock this morning. Tornado warning there with rotation being detected right now, mainly in that area from around Berlin down to Petra and to the south there along just to the west of 19 in Milford. That is moving off right now to the east, 75 miles an hour on all of these storms tonight. We've not only had big wind gusts at the surface, we've also had tremendous forward momentum on these. So east at 75 miles an hour, which would mean here, well, we just got an updated scan there, as you can see. So in the next few moments, that updated information will factor in here and show you a timeline when you can expect these winds to really be strong, and that's into Germantown maybe by 1:53 and Maysville just after 2 o'clock. That warning, if memory serves, John, that goes until 2 a.m. this morning.
And I just got a new report in. We had a wind gust to 72 miles an hour in Turpin Hills. That's the neighborhood in Anderson Township there. So that was a 72 mile an hour wind gust in the Turpin Hills area, and also at Lunken Airport. So out in Anderson Township, winds gusting to 72 miles an hour as these storms came through earlier. All right, this is still the tornado warning. It's Doppler radar indicated. We have no indication there's a tornado on the ground here, but we're still seeing the possibility of that with just the way the wind fields look here on the radar. So Gertrude, McKendree Church, Augusta between 146 and 148. Get to your safe spot. Germantown 148. South Higginsport around 150, Felix Chapel Baptist Church 151, Fernleaf around 151, and Minerva around 151. Just to be safe, get to the lowest part of your house, get to your basements if you have a basement, because again, we've got this rotation here. I'm going to kind of circle the spot here that we could be looking at a tornado between Brooksville and Germantown, right here where the greens and reds are coming together. If we're going to have a tornado, right in that general spot, and you can see it moving quickly toward the Germantown area, that is where, again, if we've got a tornado between Chatham and Germantown there, moving toward Minerva, that is where it's going to be, right here in this general location. Right here. So we're approaching 546, approaching 19 here, coming down here through Bracken County. This is the rotation that we are seeing right now. So if you're in any of these neighborhoods from Germantown up to the north of Chatham, Minerva, just make sure you're in your safe place. There's some big winds coming into Augusta right now. Augusta, you're in the tornado warning polygon. I'm more concerned about areas south for a tornado. But even around Augusta now, you're starting to see some big winds being indicated by Doppler radar up here. And yeah, 67-mile-an-hour winds coming into Augusta right now. So you folks there in Augusta down to Chatham, Gertrude, you need to just be in your safe spot right now. A tornado warning continues for you folks. We're more worried about areas south of Augusta, though, approaching Germantown, for a possible tornado there with the circulation that we're seeing. It's not a strong circulation, thank goodness, but there's definitely some wind here that is approaching these sections of Bracken County. That wind does extend up into Brown County too, so Lewis Township into Feesburg there. This is moving over toward the Georgetown area. We are seeing some of that orange shading showing up. So you've got some pretty good wind that's coming into your neck of the woods there right now around Lewis Township, 63 miles an hour. Again, into Augusta, Kentucky. We've got 65-mile-an-hour winds kind of coming right along 52, right along the Ohio River there between Augusta and southern parts of Brown County. There's some pretty good winds right there. And again, these things are moving at a pretty good speed, so we can kind of track those winds as they come out of Bracken County across Brown County, Higginsport here, 150, Georgetown, 152, Center Point, 153. Around 154 in Dover, Ripley 156, South Ripley 156, and Russellville around 157. Severe winds that we're detecting by Doppler radar there, moving from Augusta toward the Georgetown area. We're in Augusta again. You're under a tornado warning that is in effect for Bracken County right now. That particular tornado warning here for Bracken County, again, it continues at this point until 2 o'clock in the morning. A Doppler radar indicated tornado moving out of Bracken County. Again, that storm is getting ready to move over into Mason County. So far, though, they have not extended that warning over into Mason County. So let's hope they don't at this point. But I want to get one more look at the velocity on this storm. There it is. And yeah, it looks like that threat is going to move out of the tornado warned area shortly. Oh, nope, they just extended it. Yeah, they just extended it. So there it is. Brand new tornado warning. We're going to bring this up. That is for Adams, Brown, and Mason County. They do not like that segment of storm. So this is a brand new tornado warning. It's going to cover Adams, Brown, and Mason counties. This is going to go until 2:15. They've got the forward speed now at 75 miles an hour on this thing. So let me take everything off. I just want to show you the warning polygon. So there it is. So
these warnings The warnings don't last very long
No.
when they're moving at
Yeah, and that's the
75
thing.
miles an hour. So
So
I guess maybe good news, bad news.
yeah, I want to point out though, Ripley, you're included in this. Georgetown, you're included. Eagle Township, you're included in this. Getting over the Cherry Fork, Scott Township, and just west of West Union, it looks like. Yeah, West Union, you're right on the edge of it, it looks like. So what I want to do now is give you another view of this and a storm track of where this is going to go. So let's bring up our velocity again. And as we bring up velocity right now, we're going to pull in this radar view. It's a better radar view. So if you're in Georgetown, if you're in Ripley, need you to get to your safe place right now. This thing's moving at 75 miles an hour. Doppler radar indicated tornado. So let's give a track on where this possible tornado is headed. Georgetown 153, Ripley 156, Russellville at 158, Ashridge 159, Bird Township 201, Winchester 204, Cherry Fork 206, and Scott Township at 208. So in these spots, get to your safe place. Lowest level of your home, basement if you have one. That is going to be your best bet because this is moving quickly. And even if we don't have a tornado, we've got some severe winds that are moving across this area right now. Winds gusting 60, 65 miles an hour within this tornado warning polygon that we're seeing here on the screen tonight. I want to go back to the regular radar view. There it is. We'll put it in motion. You can see that storm again moving into the Georgetown area, moving out of Augusta, moving into Ripley as we speak, where you are under a tornado warning right now. Tornado warning is going to go until 2:15. A Doppler radar indicated tornado. We do not have radar confirmation. We do have radar indicated rotation with this storm as it's moving across portions of Brown County, into Adams County, across the northern section of Mason County. Maysville, you're not included in this. So if you're waking up thinking, okay, what's going on in Maysville? You are not included in the tornado warning. Minerva is, Ripley is, Germantown, you're not in the new one here. Maysville, you are not in the tornado warning. So the most dangerous part of that storm is just to the north. Technically, Hamersville, you're not in it. Georgetown, the storm's over you. Russellville, Ashridge, get to your safe spot in Bird Township. And Heat, Cherry Fork, Winchester, West Union, get to your safe spot because this thing is moving at 70 miles an hour off to the northeast. So again, Arnheim around 155, Russellville 156, Bird Township 159, 201 Eagle Township, 203 Winchester, 204 Cherry Fork, Seaman at 206, and West Union around 207. Paul Poteet, you got a great view of the rotation on a rotational product.
They've also trimmed a little bit of the western edge of that off now, John. So this is the warning that is in place right now, and where I think the biggest area of concern would be from around Georgetown down towards Center Point to the west of Ripley. So if you're watching us in any of those areas right now, and certainly downstream from that in Bird Township and Russellville, and then eventually maybe over toward West Union, in those areas, that's where the rotation is at its strongest right now. So that's one of the places that we're tracking. And really, it's a tale of two viewing areas down to our east and southeast, still very active. And you'll notice that the lines are still, you know, a little ragged and wavy. This is more just plain rain, and a lot of it that's falling back out to the west. And in fact, you know, some of you are out of the tornado watch. Let me reset that view. I don't know that we've shown that in a while. So there are some places now that you'll notice to the north and to the west of Cincinnati, we don't often tell you to stop watching, but if you're tired and you want to go to bed and you're watching us up in Butler County or back toward Brookville or Vevey, it's okay now. The tornado watch has passed. And you are watching live coverage of what's been a very stormy, very early Thursday morning. It's just shy of 2 o'clock. Shout out to Marcia and Mary and who else? I was just looking at some emails from Pam and Kathy. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight to get the latest information from the Weather Authority. Again, we've got a tornado warning, so we'll go back and show you again in the Georgetown area, Georgetown down to east of Falmouth. We had tracked this out of Falmouth earlier. So this includes Brooksville, it includes Berlin, and it's over towards Georgetown and Byrd Township and just to the edge there of West Union. So we'll double check the rotation that we were looking at a while ago, let the loop fill in, and now it's closer to around Georgetown and down to Center Point. Be in your safe place. Get in the basement if you're not there already, if you can. Ripley, and also down there by Minerva. As this heads to the east, could be a factor in Russellville eventually and in Byrd Township. And again, that, I think, John, at this point, is that our only active tornado warning at this time?
It is, Paul, and we'll just reset right now, give you the big view. They continue, as Paul mentioned, trimming back the tornado watch. So all clear in southeast Indiana. You're good, as Paul said. All clear now in Butler County. The severe thunderstorm warnings continue for southern Clinton into Highland, Adams County, Brown County, Mason, Robertson County, and the tornado warning for Brown and Adams County continues. Doppler radar indicated. I'm going to get back to that in a quick second. Right now, let's go to Kyle and Paula with more on the damage that we're seeing across the area.
All right, we've got more pictures from Erlanger. Again, we have a little update on that situation where the tree fell on the house.
Yeah, this is that house that we were showing you earlier.
Yeah.
The new details about this tree that fell into a home there in Erlanger. We can tell you that 3 people were inside this home on Division Street when a tree fell on it. This happened at around 1 o'clock this morning.
You can actually see the woman coming out of the house there from the first responders.
So these are not live pictures. These are.
Okay.
This is some video that our crew got.
Yeah.
Fire crews rescued 1 woman and took her to St. Elizabeth Hospital to be checked out. 2 other people were able to get out on their own. But again, you can see the roots of that tree there just
the huge
out
response from the first responders there, and as you said, 2 were able to get out on their own. So this all happened around 1 o'clock, and then the storm system kept moving east, so that would make sense because now we're seeing it far to the east an hour later. And with this comes more power outages.
Yeah.
And we have a map and the
We're
update
up
on
to
that.
47,000 now. When we came out here about an hour ago, maybe not even an hour ago, we were at 33,000. Then we quickly jumped up to 44,000 probably 15 minutes ago. And now we're sitting at 47,000 power outages all across the tri-state. So that covers Indiana, that covers Ohio, that covers northern Kentucky as well. And the efforts to get those restored will probably begin as soon as this storm system moves out and once daylight breaks and the crews can get out there to really assess the damage and what they're dealing with. Hopefully, it's not too long before we see power back on for these 47,000 households across the tri-state. But ultimately, we just don't know at this time. There's so much we don't know.
Viewers are writing me on Facebook because they've lost power. Milford area, Southgate, they've lost power. And people are saying that they're on their iPads and their cell phones, that they took heed of the warnings, they charged all their devices, and so they're able to keep up to date. I've got people here saying, I want to go to sleep, but I'm afraid, and that's the right thing to do to be weather aware right now.
Yeah, and to that point, I had a woman respond to my post on Facebook. She said, I'm good, no electricity, and my dog is on my hip. She doesn't like storms, just the rain and the wind.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of pet owners probably feeling that tonight.
I'm missing a scared dog at home. I'd rather be here than, and my husband has the duty of that, and it's hard to watch. The animals don't know what's happening.
Yeah, but you were talking about how a lot of people are watching on their devices.
Yeah.
All day, John, Paul, Tara in the morning, which Tara has now moved in.
She's here. Thank you, Tara.
At this point have been alerting people to charge those devices, and it seems like a lot of people took advantage of that advice that they were giving because they're without power right now, so they are kind of clinging to those devices, hoping that they last until power is restored to, again, about 47,000 people, I think.
I mean, we had the warnings on Sunday. That was sort of the prelude to this week, and that got us in the mode of spring weather. And we're going to send it back over to John Gummy. It looks like he has more to tell us.
Yeah, you know, I'm still tracking this Doppler radar indicated tornado that is coming through Brown County, moving into Adams County. So I want to give you some arrival times of this possible tornado here around 2:01 at Hyatt, 2:03 Winchester, Ekmansville right around 2:05, Scott Township 2:07, 2:07 Seaman, West Union 2:08, West Union, Alexander, Salaman 2:08, and May Hill around 2:10. Again, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. We have no confirmation of a tornado on the ground, but there are some pretty big winds coming into these places right now. Eagle Township now 69 mile an hour winds estimated by radar, 72 right there, 81 right there. So you get the picture here. These are, even if there's not a tornado here coming out of eastern Broward County into western Adams County, you've got winds that are equivalent to an EF0 tornado. That would be 65 to 85 miles an hour. So we're up there equivalent to an EF0 tornado with the winds that we're picking up within this tornado warning polygon as it moves out of eastern Broward County into western parts of Adams County. And I'm going to kind of take a look at this. You can see it's moving at 75 miles an hour here, guys. So that is big time. And you can see the rotation detection, this line right across here. And this product's a little behind the actual wind product we have, but it just gives you an idea of how this has been moving through. I want to quickly check. Yeah, I mean, you look at this and it's kind of elongated, but going along with that, where those strong winds are, we're getting some debris being kicked up by radar here. It's not a debris ball like we would typically see with a tornado. It's more of a linear debris field that's coming out of eastern Broward County into western sections of Adams County right now. So possible tornado here at the very least. If not a tornado, some big time destructive winds moving out of eastern Broward County toward the Cherry Fork area, toward Scott Township, toward West Union. Manchester, you got to come in your way there as well, even though you're officially out of that tornado warning polygon. So these locations, just get to your safe spot, get to the lowest level of your home. If you have a basement, get to your basement. This is one of the last little storm clusters that we're really concerned with right now. Another one up here into Highland County, moving toward the Greenfield area. Want to take a look at that quickly and look at the radar velocities here. And I want to come on over. Let me see if I can take a look at the best view. Yeah, there it is. So come in through Paint Township here. Take a look and see what kind of radar velocities we're picking up here. Yeah, 60 plus miles an hour. Going into Greenfield, 59 miles an hour there, a little lower, thankfully, to the south there. But that gives you an idea of what we're dealing with tonight. There are severe winds coming through. We have had rotation on radar. We've had one Doppler radar indicated, or actually Doppler radar confirmed tornado a little bit earlier. So back to the west, downtown Cincinnati, it's just rain right now. So we can give you guys the all clear, just rain at this point. No more severe weather. These segments are now in the eastern part of the viewing area. So we're still most concerned with the southern and eastern part of the viewing area. That's pretty nasty looking storm around Sadieville, Kentucky, moving towards Cynthiana right now. No warning on that one, I believe. But we take a look at that. I want to see if I can get a good wind view out of this one. This might be a better view of it. Yeah, pretty good winds there. Just doing real-time analysis here of the radar, just in real time as we look at things with you tonight. Main concern, though, continues to be moving out of Broward County into Adams County, and that's where we have some strong winds. Again, Winchester, Ekmansville, Cherry Fork, moving toward Catbird. That's a new one I haven't seen before. West Union, get some interesting names up here showing up on radar. But again, let's look at these winds. As we take a look, I want to get the proper view of it. There we go. So yeah, pretty good winds coming into Winchester right now, coming into Cherry Fork. And they just extended that with a severe thunderstorm warning, folks. So there it is, some big winds here. Again, the radar beam gets away from the radar site. These are winds aloft, maybe not necessarily at the ground, but it gives you an idea that we have some strong winds in this area. The new severe thunderstorm warning. There it is for Adams, Brown, and Mason County until 2:15. So they're not going to extend the tornado warning to the east. They decided not to do that. Instead, it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but they put the tag tornado possible. So the main threat would be straight line winds. Can't rule out a tornado spinning up out of that. But the main threat is going to be wind. So let's take everything away here. I want to go back here, take that away. So there it is. So that is the brand new severe thunderstorm warning that does go over to the Peebles area now. So it does extend into Peebles. They're warning for winds to 60 miles per hour. And as I said here, I was looking at debris coming off the radar, and we don't have like a debris ball like a tornado, but we're getting these linear kind of lines here indicating that something's being kicked up that's not rain, not precipitation out ahead of these strong winds. And so that is something that we're watching. That's an indication, though, that we do have some big time winds that are rolling out of Brown County and into Adams County. Looks like the threat is going to end for Brown County shortly. It looks like that threat is moving into Adams County at this point. So we come back here, and yeah, there's still some wind there in Brown County, but it's moving out toward Cherry Fork, toward Scott Township right now. And again, we're on the edge of that particular radar, so we're looking up in the sky. This one may give us a little better view of those winds as they move across this area. And I want to check one more thing here as we look at the rotation. And again, yeah, there it is, kind of right in the middle of that tornado warning. So most of the rotation is exiting Brown County. Again, most of it now in Adams County, where we're seeing that. And there it is, as it's kind of working out of Brown County across Adams County. So we've got that tornado warning. It's going to go for about another 6 minutes here. They've decided not to continue it, instead replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning. And I think, you know, for the first time in a while, we're getting normal severe thunderstorm warnings, guys. 60-mile-an-hour winds instead of 70 or 80 like we had earlier.
That's progress.
That is. We're making progress at this point.
You never see us at the same time because it's either a weekend morning or it's a weekday morning.
When you know we're all here, you know we're in trouble,
and it's
right?
true. And it took me a while to get in here. I mean, hydroplaning really bad. The water on the roads
it was in sheets when we were looking at it with
extreme.
our live picture. Yeah.
Definitely rode through that gust front, getting out of the shower, getting ready to get in here. And it feels like you're going through a tropical storm. That's what it felt like. The winds were that strong. And we're obviously dealing with the winds with what is now soon to be just a severe thunderstorm warning coming up at 2:15.
We're trying to get this all out of the way by the time Good Morning Cincinnati starts.
We better.
They expired the tornado warning.
Okay, so we have no longer, we do not have the tornado warning.
This is going to be disappearing coming up in just a minute.
So
sometimes we get those alerts on our phones a little bit faster than our system gets.
And I told everybody they have to get up and watch your show, but they could take a nap at least back in Indiana because you're done as far as any severe weather, but not with the rain. I mean, that rain is going to be around for a while.
And the fact that it's going to go for days. And we've got yet again for Thursday, whatever day this is now, it is officially into Thursday.
Thursday morning at 2:10.
That we're going to be dealing with potential more severe weather and certainly more heavy rain.
The last time
going to be a problem for
that
us.
I looked at CVG, they were approaching 3/4. They've had 0.8 of an inch at CVG, and I'm sure there are other places that have had more than that. The radar estimates back into Indiana are 1 to 3 inches, and I haven't looked at the
I saw some as upwards of 2, 3 inches in some spots. I will say,
give you a view of the radar. It's
my
looking
radar
a little
is down.
more processing, a little more promising. So your radar is down?
So my radar is down. I'm unable to look at it. I don't know if the transformer was hit. I have Verizon. John's phone still works. So if you're watching us on TV but your phone isn't working, that's a good thing. You're still able to see this.
So you charged them up. They're just not
all
working.
charged.
Did you pay your bill, Terry?
I did pay my bill.
Just wondering.
Obviously, I need radar this time of the year.
I charged 2 of them up to get ready for this. There are probably a lot of people watching us though right now on their phones because we're on local12.com when we have continuing coverage like this. So, and I think Facebook too. We're probably on Facebook. I don't like that noise, but let's just double check and make sure that isn't. Oh, more of the tornado watch has been canceled. So there's some good news also. Let's see how much of it. Not to get greedy or anything, but we'll see how much of the, I think they trimmed it back quite a bit here. Look at that.
It's still holding on to that tornado warning, so confirmation that warning has already ended.
So for those of you in the Hillsborough, Georgetown, Maysville area, hang tight maybe just a little bit longer. You're still under a tornado watch, but as you can see, it's ending rapidly back out to the west and to the northwest. And yeah, that is supposed, they may just be hanging
on
to the
215.
to the
But John
215.
was picking up winds at 60, 70 miles per hour. So if you're waking up, the house is creaking, it feels like the tree's going to come through the house. You've got very, very strong winds. And I think you guys were picking up at point 70 to 80. I mean, unbelievably
Well, the
high.
Lunkin gust, I think, was like 70 plus
72.
miles, 72
Yeah.
miles an hour at Lunkin. So.
Unbelievable. And the forward movement, that they were moving 75 miles per hour, a lot of them off to the east. I mean, that alone is extremely scary. So
we may be able to start to clear you here by 2:30 at the latest.
That would be nice.
Well, they just issued a new warning, so I want to take a look at that.
Okay.
It covers eastern Adams County. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning. This little segment is starting to bow out, guys, and that's an indication that we have some very strong winds. The tornado warning's been dropped early. It's still in the system for whatever reason. But the severe thunderstorm warning, the new one for eastern Adams County, is going to run until 3:15. Now, the storm will be out of eastern Adams County before that. There's no doubt about it. But this is kind of a bowing segment that is coming through these areas right now. And let's see. Yeah, it's a new tornado warning, but it's out of our area. Fairfield County, Ohio, Licking County, Ohio. So that is out of our area. The brand new severe thunderstorm warning that does cover eastern Adams County, they've got a forward speed of 65 miles an hour on this storm right now. So let's put a track on this as it comes through eastern sections of Adams County, eventually continues off to the east. So winds to 60 possible. 2:15 a.m. in Duncansville, Peebles 216, Meigs Township 217, Bacon Flat 219, Mineral Springs 220, Jaybird 222, Raritan 225, Duke around 226. Again, brand new severe thunderstorm warning that does include sections of Adams County. It does go up into Highland County as well, Lewis County, and off to the east into Ross and Scioto counties, just out of our viewing area. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning. So let me take everything off here so you can see it a little easier. So there it is. Again, continues up into southeastern Highland, down through eastern Adams County, and points east. Winds to 60 miles per hour are possible with this storm. And this is the last little segment of storm it looks like that we're concerned with. There's a little more that may impact Robertson County down there. No warnings for it. But you can see, again, across the rest of the tri-state, yes, there's rain. No, there's no more severe weather. So you're going to be able to rest easy for the rest of the night. Tornado watch gone for most of the area. They're still holding on to it out to the east, where we still have that line of storms moving through. But as soon as these storms clear the area, they're going to drop that tornado watch quickly for the rest of our counties. But again, our latest severe thunderstorm warning does include southeastern Highland County and eastern sections of Adams County. Going to go officially until 3:15. Let's give you another little track on this thing as it moves off to the east, kind of on the edge of our viewing area here. So Brush Creek Township 216, Beaver Mill 219, Barrett's Mills around 220, Sunfish 224, Paxton 226, Camp Creek 228, Pebble 231, and Arion around 233. It's a severe thunderstorm warning. Winds to 60 miles per hour are possible with this storm as it moves to the east. And again, other locations in the tri-state, we are A-OK on any. Now my radar is going nuts. So we're A-OK. The severe threat is coming to an end in the rest of the tri-state. So I want to give you the big picture view right now as this line of storms continues to work east. Just some rain back to the west. So things are improving right now, guys. And I continue to look at, go ahead, guys.
Tornado warning.
Yeah, okay.
Warning. You see it there?
Right along that Adams County storm.
Yeah.
And right where it's bowing here, That's the location that they just decided.
That's why we told you to stay awake in Adams County a moment ago.
Yeah, and it's this little notch in the line here, you know, where it's not up here it's straight, so no tornado warning there. It's right here where you get that little notch. So if you're in Cedar Mills, get to your safe place right now. Cedar Mills, safe place. Guys, what's the forward speed on that? Do we have a forward speed?
Stand by.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to put a little track, but there's where the possible tornado is. Cedar Mills, Adams County. This threat is to the east of West Union. So West Union, you're not in this threat right now.
It's barreling again east at 75 miles an hour.
Moly.
So 75 miles an hour.
Let me put a storm track on it. This will be out of our viewing area.
I was going to say, it won't be in our viewing area for long.
Yeah, it's going to be like a matter of minutes. So there it is over Cedar Mills. Doppler radar indicated tornado right now over Cedar Mills. So get to your safe place. 218, Mineral Springs 221, Pink 225, Otway 227, Young's 227, Arion 231, Rush 233, and Valley at 236. This is a tornado warning that is in effect for eastern sections of Adams County right now, southeastern Adams County, northwestern Scioto County, officially until 2:45, but it's going to be out of Adams County way before that. Let's see what we can do as far as rotation tracks and where we're seeing the rotation once again. And there we are. We kind of put it in motion coming out of Brown County through Adams County, where you see the purple shading there. Again, over the Cedar Mills area right now, that is a rotation detection. So Doppler radar indicated tornado. We don't have any confirmation of a tornado on the ground, but Adams, Scioto County until 2:45. This impacts just over 15,000 people there in southeastern Adams County, where we have that tornado warning. And you can see how this is kind of bowing out. So I mean, even again, if we're not looking at a tornado necessarily, and there could be one, you get these little bends in these wind fields, and that's where you can get enough spin to generate a tornado. But even if we don't, we've got some wind here coming through these areas. Let's see what we can query. Yeah, nothing horrible here that we're seeing. But again, we're getting pretty far away from the radar out here in Adams County. So it's probably bigger wind than what is showing up here on radar. But right here around Cedar Mills, Scrub Ridge, that's one I haven't seen before, but right here in these spots, that is the location that we could see a tornado, a brief tornado spin up. Mineral Springs 220, Jefferson Elementary School 223, Raritan 224, Young's at 227, Otway 228, Henley 230, Crabtree 232, and Union Elementary School around 233. A possible tornado, brand new tornado warning has popped up here in southeastern Adams County for a Doppler radar indicated tornado. I'm just kind of looking at those storms back in Robertson County. Hopefully those behave themselves, stay out of the area. I think, guys, in the next few minutes, this is going to be the last thing that we need to worry about. I'm pretty sure.
There certainly is. We're looking at a little bit of rotation down there to the south, although it looked like it would stay just to the south of our particular viewing area around here.
And hitting areas that have been hit recently. And so that's going to rob the atmosphere of potentially producing another tornado or tornadic activity, or even those extreme winds. So that is good to see, but still picking up on some rotation there towards Cedar Mills and Tulip. Get ready for seeing, and stay off the roads if you can, if we can get a little bit closer towards, what is that, 340?
Don't want to be anywhere around, 348 and 125.
And 125.
Put these on and I still have to.
It's pretty small.
Get
but that
close.
is where we are seeing the rotation, and then again it is shifting to the east at about 75 miles per hour. We expect, and John has been mentioning, that this should be the last of the tornadoes that could be possible, and just got that update on the rotation. So Mineral Springs, you're also seeing some rotation now. It is out of Fawcett, it is out of Tulip, but again headed towards Wamsley there east, and almost out of our viewing area, which just means that even though we could be talking about it, no one's able to see it, which is why we stop that information. So at the lowest point of your house, if you don't have a basement, you want to get where as many walls are keeping you and the family safe. Don't ignore the alerts. If you're turning on the TV thinking, do I actually need to go somewhere safe? Do I need to wake up everybody in the house? It is a very good idea. We've had a lot of warnings through the night, and if it's not a tornado, it's been extreme winds, 60, 70, 80 mile per hour winds that can do damage.
We had straight line winds tonight that were higher than the EF0 tornado winds that we had on Sunday night. So there's probably, I'm going to wager, going to be a lot of damage that we look at by the time we get to tomorrow morning. And if you hadn't been following this earlier in the evening, there apparently was quite a bit of damage on I-64 down in Louisville and off to the east as some of the storms rolled through there. I know there was damage because I have family and friends back there in the Metro Indy area, just to the west in the county that's west of Marion County, where Indianapolis is, and also up to the north of Indianapolis too. So there's been some damage back to the west of us, hopefully not a lot in the tri-state, but we've looked at some pictures that, did you see the tree down earlier? Yeah,
on top of the building. And I will say too, even the 50 mile per hour winds that we had yesterday afternoon was impacting those Bradford pear trees.
Oh my
because
gosh,
they're not
those
strong.
are the worst this time of year.
And we just keep getting hit, and so their weekend is they've got very saturated soil. We've had so much rain. If we want to check back in.
So much rain, there's a flash flood
much more to come.
Back out to the west also. And one tornado warning is on the very edge of our viewing area. But John, we don't forget anybody.
No, we don't. And you know, I've brought up one of our products. We don't use this too terribly much, but this shows Storm Marcus. So it's showing rotation right there between Cedar Mills and Wamsley there. So this is the spot again where we have that tornado warning, far southeastern sections of Adams County. We bring this up, we bring up some storm attributes here right now. Titan impact of 2, that means relatively low impact here overall. Tornado impact 1.1. So the system, the algorithms we're looking at here said, yeah, there could be a tornado, but at this point, it's not terribly strong if we're seeing rotation there. So again, possible tornadoes, southeastern Adams County. This is going to be out of the county though shortly, and you can see right around Wamsley, that is where, if we have a tornado right here where these wind fields bend a little bit, that is where it is going to be, right along 348. So if you're there, if you're ever in Scioto County, this thing's coming across, it could produce a tornado. The indications there, not terribly high at the moment, but that doesn't mean it won't. We just need to watch it there. But you look at this thing, and it's coming right along, looks like right along 348. So right there on the county line, basically. And again, this is just to the southeast of Otway, south of Mineral Springs there. That is where we're looking at that possibility of a tornado. Just want to check a couple other things here. Yep. So right here around 348, that's what we're looking at with this storm as it comes through. And again, this is the last cell at this point that we're really concerned with. Once this moves out of the viewing area, I think we're going to be in good shape for the rest of the night as these little storm clusters move through. Still some heavier rain coming through Robertson County, and they're moving toward Mason County there. So we'll keep an eye on those little storm clusters. Again, doesn't look like anything terribly concerning as I look at it tonight. Looking at some rotation there. Nope, not a whole lot. So again, a lot of it continues to move out through sections of Adams County into Scioto County tonight. The last of it, so we're going to hold on to this tornado warning for a little bit longer here. Officially 3:15, but it's not going to last that long for our viewing area, for the sake of our view. In fact, there it is. They just released it. So a severe thunderstorm warning now. Severe thunderstorm warning And that tornado warning's down around Lexington. So officially, no more tornado warning in Adams County. That is the good news. They have released you from the tornado warning. Still under a severe thunderstorm warning, though, in that area. Still under a severe thunderstorm warning. Just look at the rest of them. There it is. Adams County, severe thunderstorm warning, eastern Adams County. That appears to be the last warning that is still on the board for our viewing area. And that is going to officially go till 3:15. But again, with that storm moving out, I think they're going to release Adams County from that severe thunderstorm warning here as soon as that little section of storm gets out, down around Stout and moving toward Squirreltown, Vanceburg. We got a little bit of wind down that way. But guys, we're looking pretty good over here overall.
I don't know. What do you think? About 2 hours, 45 minutes? I think that's enough.
I asked Paul, what time did you guys go on? I texted John about 10. And I said, okay, what time are we thinking we're coming into the city? So what time should I be in? And it was still back to the west of us. I will say my hometown was hit by some straight line winds back into Illinois. That's where this really started to pick up and become extreme. And we've been watching it for hours and hours and knew it would be late. Timing, the models actually did a pretty good job. I was picking up on a potential bow echo and several of them early in the morning yesterday. It was starting to show that in our models. And so we were aware that the winds were really going to be a problem with this event.
It is amazing sometimes because, I was talking about it last weekend, that we'd have Sunday night and then we'd have it again Wednesday night, and we had it.
It's amazing amazing how the modeling has improved where we get these days in advance notices.
Right.
And that upsets some people. We try to give you a heads up as far in advance as possible. And some people get kind of upset about that. Oh, you're just trying to worry us. No, we're trying to get you prepared for this kind of stuff.
And we won't mention it, especially here at local. Yep, we just lost some of our...
You didn't pay your cell bill, and we apparently didn't pay the light bill. So.
The protection dome was turned off for a second here at the TV station.
Well, that happened Sunday night, too, didn't it?
Yes, some of our monitors didn't work when we got in Monday because
our producer
we were hit.
And my computer monitor completely is gone right now.
So now we really have to stop.
Back.
Now we really have to stop.
It will come back here
all of ours are gone. Yeah.
All our warnings gone.
Actually, weather never goes down.
Right.
Well,
just the,
this is going to be a fun morning for me.
Of the keyboard and mice, that's it. That's the only thing that's gone down.
Oh, it's the our little KVM system.
Yeah, it's back right now. So still some storms working through southeastern Adams County right now. Looks like they still have the warning for southeastern Adams County, a severe thunderstorm warning there. But these storms are going to clear out of southeastern Adams County quickly. I'm going to give you one more quick storm track of this storm that's in southeastern Adams County, and it will be moving out of the county quickly here. So Sunshine, Pink, 230, 231, Shawnee State Park, 234, and then you start to get out of our viewing area here. Rockville, 235, McGall, 236, Nile, 236, Garrison, 239, and Shawnee State Park Golf Course around 239 with that storm as it continues to move off to the east. Officially for Adams County, still looking at that severe thunderstorm warning there for the eastern half of Adams County. But again, they're going to let that expire very shortly. So the severe threat is beginning to wane right now for the tri-state. We'll watch these storms coming up into Robertson, Mason County. Again, nothing terribly concerning there at this point. So we will continue to keep an eye on that. We'll be here monitoring things. If anything else does pop up, though, we'll certainly come back on the air again. But I want to thank you guys for coming in. Kyle, Paula, thank you very much, guys, for joining our coverage tonight.
Thanks to our crew upstairs and
on
the floor
everybody
here.
who stayed late here tonight to make sure that all of our viewers were informed tonight. But I think we are going to wrap this coverage, this continuous coverage up of this weather situation tonight. Don't forget, Tara Blake's going to be here the rest of the night, all morning. Good morning, Cincinnati.
Yeah,
To noon
You're
as well.
You're fresh. I mean, you're ready to go. And our Good Morning Cincinnati crew is going to be looking at all the damage that has occurred overnight. We've got crews out right now gathering information, taking a look at some of the damage that we had. And we did have some reports of some pretty significant damage throughout the area tonight. We did have at least one Doppler radar confirmed tornado, so we're going to look at that, see what damage might have come out of that tonight. But for now, we're going to keep an eye on radar here as the last of these storms move out of the southeastern part of our viewing area. We'll come back in if we need to. We'll continue to crawl information at the top of your screen. But for now, we are going to wrap up our coverage tonight, the Weather Authority coverage of the severe weather situation tonight. Everyone, have a good night. Take care.
Sleep tight.
Fully scheduled program for this important nerd alert.
Mom. I have a surprise for you.
Please be Cinderella. Please be Cinderella.
Well, hello, Prince Charming.
Hey, how was it? What?
I can explain.